Yo! It's been a while, but I've seen everything that's happened in this season. And if you just gotta know, sometimes my job takes me away for a while, but I'm back for good now. So, what happened in this Chargers season? I must admit, it was a good season for what we had, for what happened, it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. Now, from where I left off, I believe I left off at the Vikings game or maybe a week before that. But realistically speaking, from the Jaguars and forward, or I guess you could make an argument from the Texans and forward, things didn't necessarily go too well. But all things considered, we had a pretty good run. The Chargers won 11 games, went 11-6. Pretty much what I predicted at the beginning of the season. I said the Chargers' ceiling was 13 wins, and I said that their floor was probably around 10 wins. And to be fair to myself, that was before the Rashawn Slater injury. I think I could be wrong, but I believe that was before the Rashawn Slater injury and before some of these other injuries and mishaps that the Chargers had. But good thing for Harbaugh and the team and the rest of those guys for they did what they needed to do, and they pulled out some really good wins. Namely the win against the Eagles, a really good win at the end by a great stand by the defense. Same thing with the Kansas City game in KC at that, sweeping the Chiefs. Could have swept the Broncos as well, but unfortunately, at that time we didn't really have much to technically play for. We were already in the playoffs, and it really didn't make sense to put our players at risk. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I just want to get a good summary in before I move on to other things. And even if we do want to talk about the Texans game, it really was a great game for Justin Herbert specifically. And of course the stats wouldn't say that, but let's be completely honest. He came to play in that game. He was absolutely outstanding. It was really the rest of the team that kind of made that game collapse. Oronde Gadsden he rubbed his hands in butter before the game. We had for one, we couldn't really. We could kind of run the ball, but it wasn't. Because it's like, because this is how it was this season. The Chargers would have they would have like 2 or 3 plays that were like, okay, that's pretty good. Maybe we can get something going, and then absolutely nothing would get going. That was kind of the way the season would just go in general. So there were like a few good run plays, but it really wasn't that great. The defense played really good, except for the beginning, giving up those 2 big touchdowns. And aside from that, the Chargers just played terrible. No Rashawn Slater, no Joe Wall, they're hurt. Justin Herbert's getting chased around for the entire game. It's just how things went. So of course the Texans game didn't go well. The Jacksonville Jaguars game, I was able to see that one as well. That was just terrible. But what I really wanted to talk about was the playoff game against the Patriots in New England. And the Chargers are known for not winning in New England. But I will say I wasn't as disappointed in that game because I kind of expected that outcome. I really didn't expect the Chargers to win that game. Not saying I didn't believe in them or I don't like them. I'm just saying that all things considered, I know I keep repeating a lot of this stuff, but it's very true. All things considered, I really did not expect them to win that game. I knew it was going to be a close, because to be fair, it wasn't close. I expected it to be close, but it wasn't. I personally thought it was going to be a game that was super close and go to overtime, but the Chargers lose. But it turned out to not even really be close. Justin Herbert didn't have his best game at all. It wasn't his worst game at all, but it definitely wasn't a good game from him. The team as a whole wasn't playing too well. Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, you could name any receiver. None of those guys could really get open. We couldn't really establish a run game at all. Greg Roman only knew 3 plays on rotation. It just really wasn't a good time for the team. It wasn't a complete collapse, but it was not a good showing of what this team can do and what they've shown that they can do for the entire season. It was very disappointing. I thought it was going to be better than what it was, but for what we got and for what this season was, they made it about as far as they should have. This isn't a team, from what we saw against the Patriots, that should have moved on to the divisional round. This wasn't a team that was ready to, I hate to say it, but this wasn't even a team really ready to beat the Broncos. Even though we did beat the Broncos before, and technically speaking, you could make an argument that we could have beaten if we played our starters in Week 17. But even still, with that, this wasn't a team that should have been anywhere near a Super Bowl, or a team that should have been anywhere near a divisional, or especially an AFC Championship. They made it as far as they probably should have made it. And now we have the cap space. We have 80 million, and probably gonna have more to make more moves and to get this team to be better than what, and up to speed to where they should be. We can fix this offensive line from having the worst one in the league. We can possibly get some another receiver in here, possibly Tyreek Hill from what I'm hearing. We already added Chris O'Leary and Mike McDaniel to the team, which were two really good additions. I'll make some videos and content on that in the future. But this team is rapidly changing, and it's very good. We need consistency on the defense, and we need to bolster the offensive line. Because I'm telling you right now, and I've said this for so many years, if you fix the trenches, if your trenches are good, your team is going to be good. It's just how football works. And it's taken people so long to realize that, but I feel like people are finally starting to catch on. If your offensive and defensive line are dominant, your team will be dominant. There's just no way your team won't be. That's just how football is. So that seems to be the way the Chargers are trending. It seems like they're making some good hires, some decent coaching decisions from what I'm seeing. And honestly, I'm just excited for this draft to see who the Chargers get, to see who the Chargers get in free agency, who they bring on, who they let go of. They definitely need to re-sign Odafe Owe and a few other guys, possibly Mac as well. But although we don't know what's going to happen with that. But again, these are topics for another time. I just wanted to go ahead and give a quick little overview of the season and have my thoughts on it, which overall they're fairly positive because so many things just didn't go right, which seems to be a very common thing. But regardless, things could have been worse. So with that, I'm going to leave on that note that things could have been better, but we got what we got, and we're looking forward to the next season, which I know for a fact will absolutely be a good one. If we can just stay 75% healthy. 75% healthy means a wild card win. 95% healthy, I think they can win a divisional game. I really do. Or possibly even win the division, and which I think the Chargers are favored, winning the division and winning a divisional game. So I don't know. As of right now, I still think the Chargers' limit is still an AFC Championship appearance. I don't think they have the facilities to go any further. Personally, even a fully healthy Chargers team, I don't think they're Super Bowl bound. I think they're AFC Championship bound at the highest. So with that said, I'll catch you later on the next one.